Hi, my name's Terry O'Shea, and I'm an MVSD school board member. And on January 20th, the board adapted a budget that we're going to be talking to you about and explaining. We're creating a series of videos so that you can see what this will mean and what it'll look like in the 4 different schools, as well as in the district. And you'll be hearing from each of the principals, you'll be hearing from the superintendent, our board chair, business manager, as we hope to explain to you the reasons behind our budget and why we think it's a really solid, responsible budget.
Hello, this is Julie Regenball, Superintendent of Schools, and I'm here to welcome you to our Missisquoi Valley District Budget Information Series focused on Highgate Elementary School. With me today, I have Yeshua Pastina, Principal of Highgate Elementary, and Laura McAllister, our School Business Manager for the Missisquoi Valley School District. First, updates from our Highgate principal.
My name is Yeshua Pastina, the proud principal at Highgate Elementary School, and I have some happenings that are happening this year at Highgate. So just some of the things for you to learn about that we're focusing on at school is we have several different professional development opportunities for our staff to improve our instruction. We have our We Do writing series with Leah Marmelstein to focus on our writing instruction and how we're improving that within our staff. We also have some consultants coming in for our math menu and number talks. And that's happening roughly, both of those are happening every other month, roughly. We are still focused on restorative practices, and that's the way we are responding to behavior and how we are speaking to kids around unexpected behaviors that occur and how we are repairing harm that has been done within the classroom or within student to student or even student to staff. We also this year have a social emotional learning coordinator since we no longer have the assistant principal position, and they are focusing on our social emotional learning, which does involve curriculum work within our classroom instruction to be happening as often as we can, as well as monthly staff meetings that are solely focused on our social emotional learning competencies and making sure they're being met for our students. And another thing is we're always looking at assessments, how we're giving assessments, how we're collecting that information, gathering that data to analyze it and inform our instruction, which is certainly done weekly at our instructional PLCs, as well as bi-weekly with our behavioral PLCs. One wonderful thing that's happening this year is we are back to our community gatherings, which means every Friday, we have K2, all students together, and then alternating the following Friday, 3-6 students all come together. So we can still be together, be a community, and focus on our PBIS system and how we're reinforcing our positive behaviors here at school. One thing we're diving into right now is focusing on our vertical curriculum alignment, making sure that pre-K through 6th grade, we're looking at our reading, writing, and math instruction, as our science and social studies curriculum have also been rolled out this year from the district. Beyond all of that, this was certainly a challenging year, and we can't thank families and staff enough. We have been very fortunate that our building has been open every day because our staff are covering in areas they need to, because we want kids in school, because in-person learning is best. And we are very excited we've not had to close our doors, but we really thank the families for supporting us during this time, because it has not certainly been easy. But again, we thank our families and community members for making that all happen. And I'm certainly, as I said in there, proud principal of our students and staff here at Highgate. Here's just some things for you to know about in the facilities world at Highgate Elementary School. For this year, we've done various floor replacements as we're trying to eliminate rugs in classrooms or carpet. And we also added some pencils to our posts. We took the idea from Swanton Elementary, and it looks fantastic. So thank you to the crew who did that this summer. We did have a sub pump replacement to make sure our water is properly getting into the building, because we did run into some challenges early fall, as well as various smaller projects that have happened throughout the year. We have some exciting planned things for next year, which include library and kindergarten classrooms getting tile instead of the carpet. And our HVAC system, if you might have heard from a school board meeting, has officially been approved to move forward, which our complete system being replaced, which will be amazing for our building climate wise. It'll feel very good when you're in here. And these next couple of things, just some exciting things that I wanted to share about what's happening at Highgate. Many people know Mrs. Hemingway and her love for theater, with specifically HACT, which is our Highgate Actors Theater. She's put on several different plays this year. We actually have one coming up just before break, which is very exciting. And we have a crew of students and actors who are fantastic at the work they do. We have been able to do those performances both within school and also offer some for families out of the school day. And you might have seen this on our social media, but many schools got to name a snowplow for the Agency of Transportation for Vermont. And here's a couple of photos. The plow actually came to school, they put the sign on, and all the students got to see, which probably more excitingly is they got to see the size of a snowplow, since it's actually pretty big. That you don't always realize that. And this is just a little information for you about our staffing and professional development thoughts for our upcoming school year. We did have a little bit of a bubble class in kindergarten, and that has continued to move on to first grade for next year. So we will have a third first grade classroom. We will be moving our art time position from an 80% to 100% because they are going to focus on project-based learning for that other 20%. We do have a few retirements coming up, which we will be posting shortly. We are certainly going to be maintaining our positive trends in student behaviors through our behavior support team and our PBIS positions we have available. We also have changed our technology support position to be a technology coordinator, so they can focus more on technology integration in education versus just, calling someone when you need help to print. We instead want them really focusing on how do we incorporate technology to improve instruction. And lastly, and excitingly, we're doing an MTSS audit, which means how we're looking at how students are receiving intervention or how they're on ESTs. And we're really trying to look at how do we improve that system to make sure all students, especially those who are at risk, are being attended to and getting the instruction at whatever level they need to succeed.
Thank you, Yeshua. I'm going to kick off the next section of our presentation. And we usually start that with student enrollment. And Highgate has had some declining enrollment over the past few years, but actually, as you can see in this slide, we've actually increased this year. We have a total of 266 students in Highgate Elementary, pre-K through sixth grade, and that's an increase of 14 students. And our budget reflects, as always, locally, what the needs of our students are for this year. You will see that, as Yeshua discussed, we have an additional classroom teacher in this budget. It's being funded with revenue. So it's not a locally funded position, but we are showing it as an increase in our expense budget. And also 0.2 of an art position, 1 day a week, has been added to this budget, as Yeshua mentioned, to assist teachers with hands-on learning experiences, more project-based learning opportunities, so students can really generalize and cement their skills. You will also notice overall, there has been a decrease in the principal's office. As Yeshua mentioned, we had an assistant principal at Highgate previously, and when our assistant principal left last year to explore other exciting opportunities in a different part of the country, we made the decision to move with someone who is a lead for behavior and social emotional learning in Highgate. And that position is now in the behavior management line. So you will see an increase there and a decrease in the principal's office. In general, the increases in Highgate's budget, as in all of the budget line items at MVSD, are for supports that students need coming out of the pandemic and for increases in wages for staff and teachers throughout the budget.
Hello, I'm Laura McAllister, Business Manager for Missisquoi Valley School District. Highgate tax rate information after the common level appraisal. The estimated tax rate, or the adjusted tax rate in Highgate for fiscal year 22 is $1.34. For fiscal year 23, the proposed education tax rate is $1.28. This is a decrease of 6 cents, as I said on the previous slide. We then take into account the common level of appraisal. The The common level of appraisal continues to go down in Highgate, as it does in many towns across the state, due to the high rate of sale values during the pandemic. The common level of appraisal last year in Highgate was 97.41%. What's proposed for fiscal year 23 is 92.1%. This is a decrease of 5.31%. This decrease, unfortunately, has a negative impact on your tax rate. The estimated adjusted tax rate in Highgate for fiscal year 22 is $1.38. The proposed for fiscal year 23 is $1.39. This is an increase of only 1.4 cents, even after we take into account the significant decrease of the common level of appraisal. So what does this mean when you actually receive your tax bill in the mail? The estimated fiscal year 23 tax rate impact after CLA adjustment, this is given a homestead value of $200,000. So in Highgate in fiscal year 22, the tax on a homestead of $200,000 was $2,769. The estimated tax rate for fiscal year 23 is proposed at $2,798. That's an estimated increase of only $29. And again, this is based on the current estimated property yield. As I said, this yield may increase when legislature sets it, and that would actually decrease the tax rates across the state. This projection also does not include any income sensitivity people may receive.
Thank you, Laura. So now I just want to do a brief overview of our budgeting process here at Missisquoi Valley School District. This fall, our administration and the school board worked basically from the beginning of October all the way through January to prepare and finalize a budget proposal. The board adopted a proposed budget and approved the warning for vote on January 20th. The board held an input meeting. We also had an input thought exchange survey that went out around Thanksgiving time. And then our input town hall happened on January 12th. And throughout the winter, we produced these informational videos and released them through February so we can communicate different aspects of the budget to the community. There will be a full budget hearing virtually via Zoom on February 23rd. That's a Wednesday at 7 p.m. The budget information will be available on our website at mvsdschools.org. Our school district vote will take place on town meeting day, which is March 1st this year, by Australian ballot. And in Highgate, the Australian ballot vote will take place at the Highgate Sports Arena. A mail-in absentee ballot can be requested by contacting your town clerk. We have presented information to you. We know it's a lot of information about what's happening in Highgate as well as the overall budget. We are very proud of all the things that are happening in Highgate schools and our other schools in Missisquoi Valley District as well. This budget, the board really believes, is a responsible one that supports all of the needs that our students have coming out of COVID-19. We have revenue to support many of the increases of staffing or other needs in our buildings. And we also, our increase is also predominantly due to increases in wages and salaries for our staff and our teachers, so that we are doing a better job of recruiting and retaining in teachers, because we know how important that is for the outcomes for our students. And with that, we still have a budget that results in our equalized tax rate being reduced. And we're still spending well below state average in per pupil spending. I want to thank you for all the support that you give our schools. I know our school board members whose names are here would welcome any emails and any questions that you may have. Again, thank you for all the support you give our students in our schools.